My name is Brock Page, and apparently my picks are like ass hair, pointless and full of shit. Back to my losing ways, going an abysmal 1-4 my baseball picks yesterday. That's going to deflate my ever so plummeting win percentage down to .599. It's also going to put me at 3-11 for the week. Take it from me, guys. The cappers out west make it look easy. They don't make money because they're wrong. But without any further ado, we're going to look to get back on track tonight and throw some more proverbial darts in my underwear with some severely misguided sports picks in my two-bedroom apartment. All right, first game I have for you, it is going to be Colorado plus 1.5 at Arizona, with the total dropping downward to 8.5 runs. Currently, the D-backs are the Moneyline favorites at $1.45, and at the moment, 73% of the action's on the Diamondbacks to get the job done. Tonight's probables, Gray versus Ray. We got Johnny Gray for the Rocks and Robbie Ray for the D-backs. And speaking of Arizona, they're an impressive 30-12 in games at home this season, and they're also winning 65% as the favorite. They're also a staggering 20-9 going into games as the official home favorite. But if you think the D-backs are a lock to win, keep in mind that they've won just 4 of 9 head-to-head matchups with the Rockies. They're also facing a Rockies team who wins an absurd 89% of their games after a day off. In addition to that, this Rockies team wins an impressive 69% going into their games at the current Moneyline odds. There are a few trouble spots for Rockies bettors in this one, however. Colorado's lost their last 8 straight games, including a sweep at the hands of the pitiful San Francisco Giants. The Rockies travel to Arizona tonight for their 3rd straight series on the road. On a side note, Colorado has not won a single game on their current road trip, which began on the 23rd. Ouch. I think the bullpen might be spending a little too much time at the dispensaries in Denver, or maybe they just didn't bring enough ganj to go around since they are on the 7th game of a road trip. I'll tend to go with the latter, but anywho, the case can be made for either side in this one, although the Rockies are struggling. But before I go ahead and select a winner in this one, let's go ahead and break down the total real quick. Arizona games are 2-1 for the overs in their last 3. Meanwhile, on the other side, Rockies games are just 1-2 for the overs in their last 3 matchups themselves. Colorado's also averaging just 2.5 runs per game on offense in their last 3. With that current information in mind, the case for the under can certainly be made, but you never know. I'm always up for a roll of the dice every now and then, and with that said, the time for talk is over. It's time for me to throw some darts in my underwear with some severely misguided sports picks in my 2-bedroom apartment. All right, folks, when it comes to picking a winner, I really have nothing to lose since I haven't been able to pick games for my life this week. I also like the fact that this Rockies team is 3-0 in their games when John Gray makes the start on the bump. I also can't see a very talented Rockies team lose 9 straight at any point this season. They're in a tough division. They're facing a formidable opponent in the D-backs, but I just can't see 9 straight. Plus, the Moneyline equity is pretty nice in this one. It's for these very reasons that I think the underdog Colorado Rockies get the job done and win it outright for some Moneyline cash. I also want to make a play on the total in this one as well. Both teams are collectively averaging 10 total runs per game in their last 4 respectively. We got ourselves a solid matchup on the hill, but we have equally explosive offenses that have been dormant for the last couple days. It's for these very reasons that I think this one gets over the 8.5 runs. I'm predicting a final score of 5-4 Colorado based on no facts or any empirical data. All right, folks, I'm going to slide into my next and final game for the show. We're keeping it on the West Coast, but we're sliding into the American League. I'm talking about Seattle at the LA Angels. Now, the lines on this one have been real tight to the line, and at any given point, you can get either team as the favorite or a dog. Been some real wild line movement thus far in this one. As of now, I got Seattle plus 1.5 at the Angels, with a total at 9.5 runs. LA is laying $1.10 on the money line, and at the moment, 54% of the action's on the Angels to get the job done. Tonight's probables, Miranda for Seattle, Bidwell for the Angels. And speaking of Los Angeles, they're coming off a solid series with the Red Hot Dodgers actually taking 2 of 4. They've also had pretty good success against the Mariners squad. going 4-2 in their head-to-head matchups thus far. But if you think the Angels are a lock to win, keep in mind that they're winning just 42% of their games as the underdog. They also won just 7 of 15 as the official home underdog. LA's going up against a Seattle team who's 32-28 when facing teams giving up more than 4 runs a game. They're also a decent 9-7 in games where Miranda makes the start on the bump. The good news pretty much ends there, though, for Seattle bettors, as this Mariners team has lost 4 straight, including 2 consecutive to the hapless Phillies. They're also winning just 36% of their games on the road. With that zesty gumbo of information cinched into your brains, let's go ahead and break down the total real quick. 3 out of both teams' last 4 games have actually gone under the posted total. That said, Seattle's previous 2 games before Wednesday night's action averaged an even 10 total runs per contest. With that in mind, the case for both sides can certainly be made. But as for me, the time for talk once again is over. It's time for me to throw my final round of darts in my underwear with just a few more severely misguided sports picks in my 2-bedroom apartment. All right, folks, when it comes down to the Moneyline equity, I'm not worried about it because I'm loving the Runline equity in this one. I also have a ton of ground to make up from going 3-11 this week. They say bad bettors always chase their money. Well, yeah, how the hell are you ever going to make it back? But the Angels are plus 175 if you lay the 1.5. I'm digging a nice run line play on this one. The Angels are a nice 22-17 at home, and they're a perfect, unblemished 3-0 in their games when Parker Bidwell makes the start. Seattle's also been losing by an average of 4 runs a game in their last 4 defeats, and it's for these very reasons that I think the Angels minus 1.5 will get the job done for some run line cash. And when it comes to the total, here's where I make another bad play. Although I'm taking the Angels to cover, I think the scoring's still going to stay low in this one. Plus, both teams' games have averaged just 7 total runs in their last 4, respectively. I don't think that's right. But anyway, I think this one stays under the 9.5. And I also think the Angels get the job done by the final of 4-2 at home. Well, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, my name is Brock Page. And have yourself a positive day.